scene at Flemington as we look down towards the grandstands. These runners are moving into the stalls for race 4, and I hope that they're aware that there's still one in the mounting yard, and that is number 11, Sistine. Larry Cassidy has been waiting patiently. They've been replating this horse. It's cast its off 4 plate, and the farrier's been working away. You can see the gates are filling up quite quickly, so...
It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
I'm sure that somehow there will be a message got to the barriers.
Yeah, well, Greg Miles has just mentioned it on the course broadcast, and you can see that Pat Lawler, the chairman of stewards, is there as well. So she's going to have a rousing gallop on the way to the barrier, Jen. She's going to have to get there in time.
Is she ever?
But a few of these are going to be standing in the gates for quite a while because, as you can see, they haven't finished yet. And Larry Cassidy's going to have to jump into the saddle and get her around there. So...
well, there's the boss, Pat
yeah.
Taylor. So I presume that, yes, she's going out, so she's definitely a runner.
All right, well, there's Larry Cassidy getting up on board now and going to the stalls. It's quite cool.
I reckon there's odds on, though, they're going to wait for it, but by the same token, you feel a little bit for some of the horses that may have to go into the gates a little bit early, so there's a bit of a pause now. The open race, this Wakeful, a Group 2 event, we've got a terrific field of fillies engaged here. Most of these will line up on Thursday's Oaks. Pontel Lass at 7.90 for Shame, 9.40 for Rubidium, who's got the blows in a big way in the ring, 5.10 for Arctic Scent, then $11.80 for Nightclub, who's been kept relatively safe. That's horse number 10. $20 for Salius, who's been most consistent for the first time, which is always difficult, and a correct assessment on their chances over a mile and a quarter. And on the final place, not on Friday, probably the best back runner in the whole race, I would suggest, is not on Friday. And I can tell you the $7.10 stands up okay. It's just slightly overs and pretty big odds for the bottom 3. That's Sistine in the picture. Larry Cassidy aboard, and she is running around towards the starting point. There's still about half a dozen or so out of the race. There are the prices, bookmakers' prices on the Toad Arctic Scent, $4 Lash Shame and Rubidium. The Derby, Octagonal, $3.40, $3.20 for Nothing Like a Dane, who still is the favourite. Opened that way at about midday. Very little change, $6.90 for Donar, $6.50 for Catalan opening, and they are the top 4 in the Derby, which is race number 5. It'll follow the Qantas Wakeful Stakes. Gary Willett's a big field of very promising staying fillies.
Oh, yes, and what a lottery it is. I marked them 1, 2, 6 and 15, Dan.
For the Group 2 Wakeful Stakes. 2,000 metres. Light is on. Away they go. Ruhua Pride was slightly slow to begin, and Bella Valet eased out to the tail of the field early. Now this will be interesting, seeing who's going to lead. Vigil from wide out is getting across in front of Not on Friday. Early part, not a lot of speed though. Rubidium, Brack about 7 for 3 wide, and then came Shame, just in a little bit of trouble there from Kirov Dancer and tripping around the outside. Last Bella Valet second last, and 2 lengths away Ruhua Pride at the tail of the 100-metre turn, and Tonicity takes up the role of pacemaker, leads by 2 lengths to Salius. 3/4 away Vigil on the inside, 1 to Cinder's Dream, 1 1/4 to Not on Friday racing 5th. Then came away Bracken Bank, followed by Arctic Scent, and then Country Walk. Shame in the cerise colours rocked away on the Nightclub, 1 off the Dancer, followed by Sistine, 1 length to Pontel Lass. It is 15 lengths off the lead, 1,000 metres to go. Tonicity by 1 length to Salius. Vigil third, Cinder's Dream fourth, 1.5 to Not on Friday on the inside of Rubidium. Then Bracken Bank, followed by Arctic Scent, 1 length away Shame. Around the outside as they make the home turn, now tripping, but it is off the track, 3 deep. A length back to Kirov Dancer, then Nightclub and 15 out deep from Pontel Lass, wanting to get a wriggle on. It's still 10 lengths off the lead. I Soldiers back second last with Ruhua Pride. Bella Valet third last as they pack up around the turn, 5.50 to go. And it's Tonicity about a length in front of Salius and Vigil. Very strongly, then Cinder's Dream, Rubidium to the outside, Arctic Scent allowed full bore and is running on, and then Country Walk, Salius sprint into the lead. Not on Friday, 2.5 lengths behind, and then Rubidium followed back, but Salius went for home at the 200, raced away 3 lengths in front. Not on Friday. Look at Pontel Lass fly home along the rail, but Salius is a mile in front, and Salius wins the Wakeful by 4. A great great run. Pontel last third, and then came Rubidium. And then came Brackenbank Arctic Scent, followed by Sinicity, and then Shame and Vigil, Tear-Off Dancer, Ballet Valet, Country Walk, Nightclub, Rahua Pride, then Cestine and Cinder's Dream, and I Sold has run a shocker. I can only guess that something is not quite right with that filly. She was last.
I noticed her at the half mile then. She was in trouble then, and Shane Dye just let her come up the straight by herself, but all the honours with this Hilarious. It went the line very well.
So they've run 2 minutes 1.5, and I would suggest it'd be one of the quicker Wakeful runs. That's at a pretty genuine speed, 2 minutes 1.5 seconds. And for these fillies, Gaz, most have never been over the distance before, so it's a bit of a test. So really, the form of this race for the Oaks should stand up well, because the stayers were the ones that were to the fore, I would suggest, particularly Pontel. That's what a run.
That was a great run. Got held up and then got right up along the fence and got home very well. There's Darren Beedman again, second winner for the day. Great jockey. Here's the head on here. So let's go into the lead here. Gets right away from him. Not on Friday's the one in the blue with the white hat. Rubidium and Pontel last. There she's switching back across from there. On the fence now, about 1, 2, 3, 4 back on the fence, getting up now with the white cap, the blinkers on. That was a great run for the Oaks, because she'll meet these fillies a lot better on weights than the Oaks.
And the way she got to the post, she's just looking for more ground. But by the same token, we couldn't take anything away from Salius. They've run at a fairly quick tempo anyway, Gary, and she really quickened at the 400, and she put 3 lengths on Not On Friday, who had the perfect run and probably looked the winner before straightening, but the winner was just, well, obviously lengths better than Not On Friday.
Yeah, now here's a good hit on. The winner's got the race won, the leader. Back on the fence with the blinkers, the pink blinkers, the white hat, and I think that's Damien Oliver getting up on Pontel last. Great run. Michael Clark on the outside on Not On Friday, and the blue and white hoops, white cap. But that was a great run of Pontel Lasses.
It's a few horses, Brackenbank, Arctic Scent, Rubidium. They seem to have charmed runs in the race, and they didn't really finish the race off. But what a great day for Darren. Has Darren Beedman, after 4 races on Derby Day, he's ridden a double after getting up with Saintly, who was backed off the map in race number 1, and Salius at pretty generous odds. Well, we can't get through with Johnny and Darren just at the moment. The official placings are 14, 15 and 1. 4th was number 4, which was Rubidium. 5th, number 7, Arctic Scent. The time very quick, 2 minutes 1.5, and for a race that we thought was so open, Peter Donegan, it was amazing to think a horse that could win by over 3 or 4 lengths.
Yes, it was. Patrick Hyland has just come down here. That was a brilliant effort.
Yes, she's a good filly, Pete. I mean, I wondered whether we should have had her in the race. Nobody seemed to want her. But she, you know, her runs have been excellent right from her first run in a race. I mean, she's won a check every time she's gone round.
And she had to do it at both ends, really, because when you draw a wide gut early, and then she exploded at the 400.
He rode her very well. I liken her very much to a mare filly I rode years ago, Rom Stiletto. And I had a long talk to my old mentor last night, Jim Maloney, and we discussed the riding tactics of it. But I didn't ride Rom Stiletto as well in this race as he did.
Rom Stiletto was an Oaks.
In this race, Rom Stiletto, and she won the Oaks, But she's a very good filly, this.
And the extra distance shouldn't be a problem the way she went to the line.
Let's hope, mate.
Good on you, Paddy.
Thanks, Pete.
Pat Hyland, the winning trainer with Sally, is most impressive in the Wakeful Stakes. Second, Not On Friday, 15. And third, number 1, Pontel Lass. And the time for the journey, 2:1.5. Have we seen the Oaks winner? Out on Thursday, but in the